He does not care if you are perfect. And if you are like most women, you've got a perfectionism problem. You are trying to be perfect. You are trying to be good enough. You are trying to avoid making mistakes. You feel shame when you make mistakes. You feel shame when you're not able to attain perfection in whatever area of life you care about, but especially in your relationship, especially in the way that you are communicating, especially in the way that you are showing up with a man. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need to do that. Healthy men do not care about you being perfect. And in fact, this is a strategy that cannot possibly work to attract a healthy masculine man and inspire a man into fully taking care of you. Because when you are in the energy of trying to be perfect, guess what? You're in your masculine energy. You are in an energy that is actually going to repel healthy devotion from a man. The only way to attract what you want and inspire what you want is to let go of that control, right? Because perfectionism is a form of control, and all control is masculine energy. You're trying to get an outcome. You're trying to be perfect. So it's not going to work because masculine men want women who are in their feminine energy, which means women who are not trying to be perfect. So what do? What do you do? It's easy for me to say, like, just stop trying to be perfect. But that's not going to mean that you're able to just let go easily, because this is stemming from a core wound where you're not accepting an important part of yourself. It is the part of you that you are judging as not good enough. Like, if I am not perfect, then I am not good enough. I am not worthy. I'm not going to be attractive. I'm not going to be able to keep a man, right? It's that kind of story, that kind of narrative. And it's nonsense, but that doesn't mean that your body believes it. It does believe it, and it's going to compel you into trying to be perfect so that you can be worthy and not abandoned. That's what's happening. So if I tell you to stop being perfect, you might believe this and be like, yeah, that totally makes sense. I resonate with that, but okay, what do you do about it? How do you let go of that perfectionism tendency? Well, first, you have to be aware of what you are feeling in your body when you are compelled into being perfect. And it's mainly going to be fear. It's going to be two things: fear and shame. Fear of not being perfect, shame when you are not being perfect, when you're not being good enough. And then, of course, the stories in your head, the shame stories. Man, I can't do anything right. I need to be better than this, blah, 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 blah. And then the fear stories. Oh, I need to get this right. What if he, doesn't like this? What if I make a mistake? Maybe some avoidance excuses like I'll do this later. Let's say that it's about feminine communication, right? So let's say that you have been watching a few of my videos at least, and okay, this guy talks about feminine communication. He talks about, if I learn how to communicate differently in a more vulnerable, feminine way, then a man's going to be attracted to me. He's going to be inspired to want to take care of me. He's going to be the man that I need him to be. So I need to start using feminine communication. And then, perfectionist tendencies come up. Man, I don't know if I'll say that right. So I'll just not say it at all, or I'll start doing it later. I'll start tomorrow, right? That kind of stuff that's going on in your head, trying to protect you. This is a self-protection mechanism. You're trying to avoid doing things where you're going to be imperfect. But learning a new skill set, you're absolutely going to be imperfect. You're going to be terrible at this. You are going to be unbelievably bad at using feminine communication and being feminine if nobody has taught you this before. If you didn't have a father who taught this to you from birth and a mother who role modeled this to you from birth, you are going to be bad at it. Right? And this is what I tell my academy students too, because this is one of the biggest issues that I see with my students is they have all of this fear of getting it wrong, of making mistakes, of being imperfect, and that fear holds them back from making the shifts nearly as quickly as they could. And so what do I tell them? Like, I want you to make mistakes, right? And this starts right on a discovery call with me. So by the way, if you are interested in working with me at any point from this video or any video, I would love to speak with you to find out if it makes sense to work with me. And we talk all about what's going on in your love life. And we'll talk all about what you need to do to shift, tell you everything that I see. I don't hold back. So the call itself is very useful. And then we find out, like, does it make sense to work together? And then if it does, we talk all about how we can help you and all of that. And then you can decide whether to work with us. But on these calls, that perfectionism issue comes up for a lot of women. And so one of the things that I will typically say is like, First of all, I'll help you with your fear. I ask about your fear, find out if you're feeling any fear, making mistakes, being judged, anything like that. And if you are, be like, look, I want you to make mistakes on this call. I want your communication to be atrocious so that I have an opportunity to show you how to communicate differently. And of course, I always do that with love and care, right? But women are so afraid, some women are so afraid, even with me, of making these mistakes. And it's like, it's not a big deal. But the problem is, if you've made, like, this is what really exacerbates it. Oh, and by the way, before I talk about this, if you want that call with me, go below this video, open up the description, click on relationshipyourdreams.com, watch the video on that page, see if it resonates for you. And if it does, book the call with me and we'll go into it. What was I talking about? Oh, part of the reason that so many women have this perfectionist issue, actually, basically the entire reason, it's going to start in childhood, right? Like when you make mistakes and your parents judge you, shame you, neglect you, abuse you, communicate in any kind of way that you are not lovable when you make mistakes, that's going to get programmed into you. That's going to become your programming. And then you're going to believe, oh, if I am not perfect, I'm not lovable and I'll be abandoned in some way. And when I say abandoned, I don't necessarily mean physical abandonment, right? Like if you're with a man, I don't necessarily mean you fear he's going to leave you. I'm also talking about emotional abandonment. Like if I am imperfect, he's going to close off. He is going to be reactive with me in some way. He's going to close his heart. He's going to withdraw his love. And that can often be the bigger fear rather than the actual physical abandonment, or it can be both. Regardless, though, it's going to be these fears. This is why it's happening, right? It's all childhood stuff, early stuff, and now you're kind of stuck with it. And you need a solution to get out of it. A big part of the solution, first part of the solution is just being courageous, right? When you feel the fear, you just do the scary thing anyway. It's one of the most basic things I can tell you. Just feel fear. There's actually a book, one of the first books I ever read on self-help, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. It's a great book for beginners anyway. I feel the fear of being vulnerable, I'm going to do it anyway. I feel the fear of sharing my feelings, I'm going to do it anyway. I feel the fear of being permissive with a man, I'm going to do it anyway. I feel the fear of not enabling one of his patterns by stepping up into mothering him, I'm going to do it anyway by not mothering him. Yeah, you just need to be courageous. But then the other part of this is, and this is going to be courageous in itself too, what's really going to help you is for you to get really honest with a man about what you're feeling when this perfectionist tendency comes up. And again, it's going to be primarily fear and then shame when you make mistakes. So are you sharing your fear with a man? Are you asking him for help with your fear? Are you telling him why this fear is coming up? Are you doing it consistently whenever it comes up? If you're not doing that, why are you not doing it? Because you're protecting yourself, again, from making mistakes by not being open and from other forms of hurt as well. And you're sabotaging the relationship by doing that. Not on purpose, but it is sabotaging the relationship. And dating as well. Like, you should be doing this on a first date, just so you know. And women often think this idea is crazy, like just crazy radical. I can't share my fear about that on a first date. He'll think like I'm way too emotional and sensitive and just way too much. I mean, an emasculated man will, but do you want to be with an emasculated man? As if you don't have to worry about that. Healthy masculine men love it when a woman is honest with them about their feelings. It's okay to be really sensitive. It's okay to have really big feelings. It's okay to be feeling a lot of fear. What's not okay is hiding that, because then you're not being yourself. You're actually self-abandoning. You're abandoning your heart. And you're hiding the one thing that's actually going to attract and pull a man in more than anything, which is your feelings, your vulnerability, your femininity. It's like you think that being honest about the fact that you have fears on a date, on a first date, or at any point in a relationship is going to scare a man away. He already knows that. He already knows that you feel fear. He probably feels some level of fear as well. But the very act of sharing that is such a beautiful, courageous thing that it's not going to... Okay, a man is not pushed away by you exposing the fact that you have fears. And it doesn't stifle his devotion when you share that. It's the opposite. What is going to push him away or stifle his devotion is you acting on fear. Okay? It's not that you're sharing the fear that's the problem, it's you acting on the fear that's the problem. So if you don't share your fear, then you're acting on the fear by avoiding. If you fawn and go along with his leadership when it doesn't feel good for you out of fear of him reacting badly if you share the truth, you're acting on your fear. If you go into mothering patterns with him, you're acting on your fear. Any kind of masculine pattern is acting on your fear. Not doing something because you're afraid you'll make mistakes. That is acting out of fear, acting on your fear. All of that will push a man away. All of that will stifle his devotion. Exposing your fear, the only type of men who will be repelled by that are men that you shouldn't be with anyway. So who gives a crap? I mean, you might be attached to such a man already, and yes, you're going to feel feelings about that, but honestly, just trust me on this, because I'll tell students, and I'll tell women on my discovery calls too, I can never guarantee, it would just be out of integrity for me to guarantee we're going to be able to fix this with this specific man. We get relatively very high results, even in situations of like relationships that are on the verge of divorce, breakup, that kind of thing. We're able to turn a lot of those relationships around, but we can't guarantee it. But it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it kind of matters if you already have children with the man and you're married. That's harder. Like, we really want to do absolutely everything to make it work. Still no guarantee, but again, still really good results overall. But even in that situation, even in the worst case scenario like that, ultimately, the biggest gift doing this work is for yourself. It is freeing you from your masculine patterns, from your low self-worth, from your fear, so that you're able to fully be who you really are. And then ultimately from that, first, you're going to heal your relationship with yourself, which just feels amazing to be this more free feminine version of yourself. But then also, when you make those shifts, even if it doesn't work out with a specific man, it's going to work out with a man, because now you've become who you really are, which is what a man really wants you to be, what a masculine man needs you to be, and you're going to attract a really healthy masculine man who's going to be inspired to take care of you. It's as simple as that. And so there's really nothing much to fear of making mistakes, because a good man is going to help you through the mistake-making process, and a man who's not worth being with is going to reject you probably no matter what you do. So who cares? Like, it's out of your control, basically. All you need to worry about is being who you are. And then the chips will fall down where they may from there. And it's a very liberating realization to have and to give you. It's like, you can just let go of control, make all the mistakes that happen, and you're going to see what happens from that. And what happens is what needed to happen. That's when your life starts getting really good, because you're letting go of that control. Good things happen when you let go of control in a safe way, in the way that I teach you, basically. Yeah. And there is a version of you out there in the future, I guarantee it, that is not a perfectionist in any kind of way. That's not worried about making mistakes, that's able to just make mistakes and think it's hilarious, and you still love yourself just as much. And there is a man out there, there's either a man out there or a version of your man who also doesn't care about you making mistakes and who can just laugh about it and still love you just as much. You just have to know how to, one other piece to this. It's like, yeah, you need to make mistakes, but you need to at least know where you should be going, right? And unfortunately, because there's so much terrible advice for women out there, it's like you're making mistakes to make shifts, and the shifts aren't even going to get you the results that you need to make. So you're just wasting your time making mistakes, learning a skill set that's essentially wrong. So you need to learn proper feminine communication. You need to learn how to be this version of yourself. And in the process, in the journey of doing that, yes, you will make tons of mistakes, but over time you'll make much less of them, and you'll become the woman that you're meant to be, and you'll experience the cherishing, the devotion from a man that you are meant to receive. If you would like my help learning how to make those shifts, where I support you through that journey, I would love to get on a call and find out if it makes sense to work together. For you to do that, go below this video, open up the description, click on relationshipyourdreams.com, watch the video on that next page. If it resonates for you, fantastic. Book that call. I'll see you there. We'll have a great time. That's it for this video. See you for the next one.